Last season, they met just over an hour down the road with the Big Ten championship at stake. And today, there are enormous implications for the rematch. Ohio State comes into Bloomington to take on the reigning national champion, the Indiana Hoosiers. Reese Davis, David Pollack, and Jesse Palmer with you for more on this Big Ten clash. Let's check in with Holly Rowe.
We might not have said this a few years ago, but when Ohio State matches up against Indiana, it is a big deal. Keep in mind, the Hoosiers beat Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game last year on their way to the national title. But Ohio State knows they could be the team to beat in the Big Ten this year. It is all on the line for some early dominance when Ohio State takes on Indiana. Back to you.
Thanks, Holly. Looking forward to see how this one goes. The Buckeyes will kick off first, and here we go. Here he comes from inside his own 5. He'll be stopped just short of the 25-yard line. They'll mark it at the 24, and good work by the coverage unit. Running inside, it's Beebe. Tackle is made at the 28 after a pickup of 3. Seems as if these two have been on a collision course for a top 5 meeting like this. And big picture, guys, it can really help their playoff positioning.
Yeah, we all circled this game at the start of the year. We knew this one was going to have conference championship, national championship, Heisman Trophy implications too, David. So lots riding on this one, and may the best team win.
And this will be huge down the stretch. It gives you a shot in the arm. You prove your worth in this football game, and you start to build your case as you get to the end of the season of why you could possibly get to the best team in the country.
We're able to find the tight end for an easy completion, but good job tackling, not allowing him to get the first down.
They'll need 3 yards here on 3rd down to keep this opening drive alive. Dropping back, it's Hoover. Unloads it left. That was almost picked off, and what a disaster that would have been to throw a pick on the opening drive. Instead, it's 4th down. And the Hoosiers line up to punt it away. First one of the day is booted away. They ran him out there 4 times in the victory last week. Working his way on the return up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. This place is roaring, and it's going to be so hard to operate under these conditions. Power football with the run. Makes it past the marker. They drop him at the 47-yard line, but he'll have plenty to move the sticks.
Yeah, and there you go again. Ohio State bringing the ground game. They typically do that, Reese. That's pretty normal for them.
They've built their entire program around it. Archie Griffin, 2-time Heisman Trophy winner. You go back to Hopalong Cassidy. I mean, the Buckeyes love to run the ball, no matter how many times they spin the magic beat.
If you're going to complete these in-breaking routes over the middle of the field, it's really important as a quarterback you don't stare the guy down and tip off where you're throwing the football. He's trying to freeze the safeties in this defense and then throws it on time. Accurate throw, nice pitch and catch.
Looking for room, it's Jackson. Miles ahead for a pickup of 1 to the 32.
And the defense doing a great job committing to the run. When you commit to the run like this, obviously you can give up some plays in the passing game, but you got to stop the run first.
After picking up a couple, it's 2nd and 8. Here's Sayin to throw. Fires to the big fella. And a good job of coverage by that defense, just a short pickup.
That's a great example of the defense there tackling the catch. As soon as the big fella caught the ball, down he went, not picking up the first.
probably feel good about their field goal chances from the 29, but they'd love to convert this 3rd and short. Tries to do it himself on the draw. Just across the 20 with a first down at the 19.
And as a defensive guy, man, when you play a QB like this that will take off and run and has the speed to make you pay, it just limits what you can do. It limits the amount of coverages. It just makes you play a lot more hesitant. And you can see right there, man, the guy's got speed. Interested to see how this defense continues to attack this QB.
He hauled that one in and got it down to the 15-yard line.
I like this tight end. He does a really nice job on his route run. He's been beating man coverage. He can find the soft spots and zones. You got to get him involved.
This crowd, full throat, splitting the eardrums and letting them know it's going to be a long day. Stopped at the 13-yard line as the drive continues. The Buckeyes are at the line trying to move the sticks on 3rd and short. Timeout signaled for by the Buckeyes. That's their first. After using an early one, 2 left for them to spend. Third and 4. They'll go right back to it. They'll make the stop about 3 yards short of the first down.
Yeah, that's a really good job by the defense, because when you get in that 3rd and medium area, listen, you got to be worried about the run and the pass. Did a good job playing bold, got it stopped, now forcing a 4th down.
It's 4th down, and they'll try the field goal. This crowd trying to do its part to get inside the kicker's head. Absolutely perfect. And that'll put the first points of the game on the board. It's 3-0.
And you want a touchdown and you want to be aggressive, but man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road that I can trust this guy.
On the move from inside his 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. We'll see what they can do on this drive that starts at the 16-yard line. Coming out on first down with the play fake. Looking to the big tight end. The short hands. It's Barker. I bet it felt good to hit that quarterback late until you got an earful from the coach and cost your defense 15. The offense comes back out with a new set of downs after the penalty. Keeping it on the ground inside. It's Beebe. Gain of 8 yards on the play. He's too short of the first down.
And here's what you know about Indiana football. They're going to be physical. They're going to be so well coached and disciplined, and they're going to run the football. It was the key ingredient to helping Fernando Mendoza win a Heisman, like the ability to RPO off of it. So, Palmer, I don't know who the names are going to be throughout the season, but I know they're going to run downhill, no nonsense, and they'll have a guy that they'll hitch their wagon to.
Yeah, everybody talking about losing Mendoza, but Black and Hemby were a big part of that thing, too. I think the offensive line, though, was key to it all. Anytime you have 2 1,000-yard rushers, it's because the guys up front are pushing people around, and that was the secret sauce to Indiana's Cinderella run.
And he's all bottled up, and now it's worse. The ball's loose. A fortuitous turn of events to keep possession of that one.
It's so hard to force fumbles, and when you do, you so badly want to get them. You're crawling, you're doing whatever you can to get there as a defender, but the offense fortunate enough to cover it back up.
After that sack, they're in a different zip code now. 2nd and long working here. Back to throw. It's Hoover. And that's not the way they drew it up. It's incomplete.
And this defense picking up right where it left off. Last week put a great game together, really shut down an opponent. Now you can tell, man, they're going to make you earn everything you get. And this offense is going to have to find a way to find some holes because we haven't seen them the last couple weeks.
He'll pull it down. Rolling, throwing, looking right. And he's got it at the 30. Well, guys, Ohio State has the lead here. And we've come to the end of one. And let's take a quick moment to catch up on the stats. Heading in the opposite directions now as we crank it up in the second. So first down here as they go back to work. The run inside. It's Beebe. Finds a crease at the 20. And he'll finish the run in the end zone. Touchdown, Hoosiers!
Well, on that run, he shows you why he's so dynamic. He's got all the tools in the toolbox to hit the home run, David, and they're going to stay patient with him. They know they're not going to score a touchdown every single time they give it to him, but he is that guy that can break the game wide open for this offense. Expect more from him.
Yeah, and then once you start giving it to him, you create that balance on offense. Then you can play action and suck those linebackers up. So it's only going to help this offense make it more two-dimensional as opposed to one. Get the running game going, and then it opens up the pass.
And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. Here's Julian Sayin to throw. Looking to the big tight end. Can't make the connection, and the defense putting on the heat and forcing the incompletion.
Well, this is huge for this defense because they're playing against a Heisman-caliber quarterback, a guy that can hurt them in a variety of ways. They better be able to get pressure on him throughout the course of this game. They did right there.
After the incompletion, it's 2nd and 10 from their own 25. Wants to throw. It's Sayin. This time, ball is loose. And the defense jumps on it. They get that turnover.
Great job by the defense in the back end that time. He made the catch, and he had a little wiggle room to run afterwards, but they were able to get to him, rip the football out, and that is a massive takeaway for the defense.
Indiana has the ball back, and the Hoosier offense comes out ready to go. And that ball's on the ground behind the line. Defense right there to stop him in his tracks, and they get nothing on that play. I don't know if it was luck or aggression or just a fortuitous bounce, but at least they've got the ball back.
But one thing I do know, Reese, this running back has got to do a better job with ball security. Cannot turn the football over and expect to win this game. They're very lucky they were able to jump on top of that one.
Second down, they'll go to the air. Missed receiver there, it's incomplete.
Yeah, and sometimes the coverage is just great. And as a quarterback, you throw the football away or don't try to force it too tight into a window, and you just say, hey, defense won that rep, good coverage.
They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. Wants to adjust the pattern. Running inside. It's Beebe. He gets inside the 40 to the 39, but he is still well short of that first down marker. It'll be 4th down.
The big fella in the middle, man. Those defensive tackles, they go such a long way in deciding and really stopping the other team's run game. Just forcing contact with those guards and those centers, owning the line of scrimmage, and getting running backs on the ground.
And the right rotation on that one to get a little help from the crossbar and get it through. Now up by 7 points here in the second. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25.
They bailed him out. They held him to a field goal, so that's the good news. Now this offense has to get it going. Forget about the fumble, Jesse. Move on. Be positive.
And they're upset with themselves, too. They're an offense that pride themselves on ball security. Let's see what they do right here.
The big tight end tries to make a catch, and you can tell he extends for the ball, but great job by the defender getting in there, making the hit, dislodging the football out at the same time as he's going to catch it, and the big tight end couldn't hold on to it.
And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
And you must do that against a guy of this caliber. This kind of QB will absolutely pick you apart. You got to get hurries. You got to get pressures. And when you can get hits and make him feel the physicality of the game, maybe you can take that guy and knock him down a few notches.
Probably the toughest call on the play sheet. 3rd and long. Ball's at the 25. Fires to the wideout. Smith's got it. So important to convert these 3rd downs, and they get it done. They'll have it at the 42.
And listen, the defense knew coming into this one, they were going to target him early and often. He is a weapon, and there's no mystery where the quarterback's going to be looking on critical down and distances. Let's see how they're able to cover him throughout the rest of this game.
And the Buckeyes have it with a 1st and 10. Gonna run it. It's Jackson. 9-yard pickup on the play. It's now 2nd and 1.
And I like the thought process on offense here early in this game. They're giving their bell cow the ball early and often. There are a lot of coaches that outthink themselves, and I think, we're going to throw the ball to set up the run instead because everybody on defense knows our guy is the focal point. But this offense is just keeping it simple. Let's just give our best player the football early in this game, and let's just get him into a rhythm.
All down, but he has enough to move the chains. The Buckeyes may be leaders in the modern game, but this has an old-school, vintage Buckeye feel to it when they move the ball on the ground.
And Ohio State's done it year after year, and it's player after player. But this university recruits at such an elite level. They find dudes, and it's easy to run the football when you've got some dudes.
QB, excellent location on that throw. Out route against man coverage, you cannot miss. If you throw that behind, that might be a pick 6. So nice job by the quarterback with his accuracy.
This offense has been sluggish to say the least, but finally they're on the move on 1st and 10. On the draw, it's Jackson. They get him down, but he does pick up 3 to the 32-yard line.
And those body blows really, really matter. Like, I want to be able to hand the ball off to my running back 10, 15 times a game. Make the defense tackle them, wear them out. Sometimes these 3 to 4 yard runs, later in football games, they turn into 5 to 15 to 20-yard gains just because of the body blow effect.
The give to the back. Defense there to make the stop after a pickup of 2 to the 30.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
This is the type of play that decides games. Are you tough enough to convert 3rd and short from the 30? Sayin from the gun on 3rd down. Got the back over the middle. He'll be stopped short of the line to gain. Needed about 3 more on that one.
Yeah, and that's one of those where you just look at the coverage. You look at down the field, taking away all the options, making sure you don't throw that ball downfield to get the 1st down. The only option, check it to the running back. Now I close that space. Nice job tackling.
And here comes the field goal unit for the 2nd time tonight. This whole play is going to see if this kicker can operate in the sea of noise. It's good. Easy call for the refs. That'll bring him to within 4.
And that's not the way they wanted to end the drive, but nice job being ready and your field goal kicker coming through and putting 3 points on the board.
On the run from inside his own 5. He'll be brought down at the 22-yard line. Good coverage on that one. His return is stopped short of the 25. this one to start the drive from their own 22. Keeping it on the ground inside. It's Beebe.
I like this guy as a running back because he can run between the tackles and he can also go outside. He can really do it all.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. To the air, it's Hoover. Throws to the wideout. Got him downfield.
And guys, I'm kind of shocked. That's the first time we've called his name. And it's one thing for it to be his first catch going into the half, but that's the first target. This offense is an offense that needs him to be explosive, to make big plays. And in order to make that happen, they've got to target him and find ways to get him the football. First down, physicality wins football games. Being able to run the football and create balance. And right here, just choose up another first down, gives you another chance to maybe continue to run the football.
And I feel like this guy, too, is just an explosive play waiting to happen. His vision, his quickness, and he's got a burst. If you give this guy just a crease, he's going to hit it. And right now, he's doing some damage on this defense.
And winning first downs is a priority for a defense, and you can't get bludgeoned. You can't get physically beat at the point of attack. You know the percentages. It's usually pretty good on first down that they're going to run the football. So them getting that big chunk, getting in 2nd and short, not a good job by this defense.
Catch in the middle, it's Preston. He'll be stopped at the 6-yard line, but what a job picking up yardage after the catch. Ohio State calls its 2nd timeout. And they'll still have one in their pocket for what's left in this first half. The Hoosiers trying to pay off the threat on 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. Nothing doing, and he was lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage at 2nd and goal. Final timeout called by the Buckeyes. And they won't be able to stop the clock again for the remainder of this half. Picked up some of what they needed on first down. Now it's 2nd and goal from the 5. Trying to find his way to the goal line. Touchdown, Hoosiers! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house. Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And they did tack on the extra point. They marched 78 yards down the field, and they punctuated it with a 5-yard touchdown run. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Say it. He lobs one high down the left side. And that'll be incomplete, man. That would have been a big hitter on first down, but 2nd down's coming up.
Well, this defense was ready for go balls. Against this receiver and his speed, he's one of the fastest in the country. They knew this quarterback was going to try to take the top off the defense. That time they couldn't link up, but if you're on defense, just know they're going to try that play again.
So now it's 2nd and long. Looking for a man. It's Sayin. Right down the middle. And his throw is incomplete.
And how nice is it to have the home crowd going absolutely bananas? Communication is harder. The snapping the football, everybody being on time. Man, this crowd really affecting the football game.
Decibels rising as the crowd gets behind this defense on 3rd down. Sayin trying to be heard above the noise. chance on a silver platter. First and goal from the 3. In the red area, it's Martin. Tough to run it this deep in the red zone, and he found nothing at all that time. The Hoosiers take their first timeout. They'll have 2 left to work with before the half. Running out of time here in the first half, they're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. The run inside. It's Richard. He works his way ever closer all the way down to the 1-yard line. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays.
This is the most important part of the field. What you did to get down here means nothing. Nice job by this defense, staying confident, staying aggressive, and forcing a 3rd down and goal.
Trying to get it done with the run here on 3rd and goal. Just hammer it with this running back again, and he noses his way into the end zone. No midseason concentration lapse here in Week 7 as they push out that lead.
Man, what great offensive execution. You talk about addressing a 2-minute situation and using almost all of the clock, adding to your lead and creating more momentum going into the half. Great execution by this offense.
And he added the extra point. And he takes this from inside the 5. He'll step out of bounds at his own 13-yard line, and that will not go down on the teach tape for kick returns. They'll have just enough time to get 1 more snap before the half. Throwing, say it. Going for the big play. Incomplete. He took a shot on the final play of the quarter and couldn't quite find his man. Halftime as both teams head into the locker room. We're looking forward to a terrific second half, but before that, let's check in with Kevin Connors.
Guys, it is my pleasure to welcome everyone into the Week 7 edition of the EA Sports College Football Update Show. We begin our coverage with Florida State taking on the number 13 team, the Miami Hurricanes. And it's the Seminoles coming away with a blowout victory in what looks like a major upset. Expect major changes in the polls this week.
Looking to throw, it's Sayin. And the Heat will get home, and the quarterback goes down at the 17. Not sure exactly what led to that, whether the protection wasn't right or the quarterback just didn't see it, but the result was a negative play and a sack.
Well, one thing I do know is that quarterback had no chance to get that ball downfield. That pocket was breaking down, and it was breaking down quickly.
Nowhere to go, and the ball's loose. It's as if that ball had a magnet going back to the offense. How in the world did they keep it?
Man, and this is why you practice 5 points of pressure with the football. You cannot put the ball on the ground. Doesn't matter how many defenders are around you or how hard you get hit. You cannot turn the football over and expect to win games.
Lined up in the gun on 3rd down. Say it. On the run deep down the right side. Got it down the field. Flips the field in an instant, and he has it down to the 25-yard line.
And that is such an accurate throw. It's one thing to do it from the pocket when you have your feet set underneath you, but when you can get outside, off schedule, on the move, and throw a dart like that, that is just big time, and the offense gets a huge explosive play.
Nowhere to go on that one. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Well, you got to give the defense credit. They knew a big key in this one was slowing this dude down, especially after how well he played the last time out. They have been swarming him, they have been gang tackling him, and getting a lot of penetration up front.
And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
And we were talking about it at half, guys. Like, how are they going to crack this puzzle, right? This defense so elite in the first half. Second half, they come out. They're trying to throw the football, man. I just don't know where the weaknesses are. They're going to have to keep working and keep trying to make that big play and stay aggressive. But so far, on every level of this defense, they've been dominant.
From the gun on 3rd down, Say it. Grabs it in the middle. Oh, he's got some space. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
This offense was just hoping for one big play. They finally got it. They're trailing big in this game, and they needed that pitch and catch to put them on the doorstep to make this a game again. Give them credit. They never lost their confidence. They never stopped being aggressive, and finally, two guys hook up. Massive play for the offense.
Now, you've seen the evolution of these slot receivers. They're just matchup nightmares. They're hard to get your hand on. A lot of times, they're off the football. You can't jam them. These guys are so productive, and offenses really feature their best players most time in those slot positions.
On the move, it's Jackson. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Buckeyes! Got to start cutting into this lead somewhere. Now the question, will they have enough time?
But that's step one. You got to get that first score. You got to get back in the ball game and get some of that momentum back on your side. You still got more work to do, but step one accomplished.
And after making the extra point, they're down 24-13. He'll start the return inside his 5. He gets across the 20 and out to the 21-yard line before he's stopped right there. Indiana comes out ready to get this drive underway. They come out for the first time in this second half. The lead a little smaller than when they went to the locker room, and they'll try to answer here. Here's the pressure. Still looking for a man. Throwing on the run. He holds it in, and nobody's close. Across the 50 and down and out of bounds at the 44. A good pickup on that one.
This offense not wasting any time. First play of the third quarter, and they're aggressive, taking a shot. You know they had some conversations in the locker room at halftime. How can we get a big one right out of the gate? Defense isn't going to be expecting it. They took the shot, they hit it, and this offense is hungry.
My job is to make sure that ball comes loose, and I got to go through that guy, use my shoulder pad, drive my feet, really, really be physical, because if he bobbles it at all, or as soon as his hand gets to the ball, you can tell the difference when that body jerks forward and that ball starts to come loose and pop out.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. Running inside, it's Richard, and he's knocked down.
Goodness, correct. That is the way you blow up a play, quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Hair on fire, caused a wreck that had to be a blown assignment. It'll be third and long.
Wide, 53, wide, escape.
Looking to throw, it's Hoover. Unloads to the wideout. Wide open downfield. Touchdown, Indiana! He found some open space and turned on the Jets. Lining up to add another. And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And they finish things off with a 44-yard touchdown pass. No chance for a return as that ball flies out of the back of the end zone. The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. The last time they had it, they took it down the field for a touchdown. They can build some confidence that they could go back-to-back scoring drives here.
Yeah, and remember, it's not uncommon for offenses to find themselves as the game goes on. They had some things not go their way early, but they found something last drive, David. Let's see if they can build on it.
Yeah, you just pick and pick and pick until you find that place where you're like, okay, this is an advantage I have. They clearly found that, dude. They score here, we're in for a ball game.
Really nice throw there to get the first down. And, you know, when you think about Ohio State quarterback play, especially here recently, it all comes down to efficiency. You have to make good decisions. You got to read the defense, and you got to be accurate. When you think of guys like Justin Fields, C.J. Stroud, guys who went in the first round, that's what they did. And this guy right here, I think he has the ability to be a first-rounder in the future.
You want to make play calling easy for an offensive coordinator? Run the ball like that every play. I mean, when you can run that on first down and set up a short yardage on second down, It makes play calling easy. Every single call on that sheet is available here on second down.
Makes the grab on the left. And they explode on that one, and they've got it down to the 22.
At the 22-yard line. Good enough for a first down.
The Buckeyes are rolling down the field. Zayin fires to the wideout. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on first down. Second down coming.
And if this offense is going to get back in the football game, those are the plays they have to make. Like, they have to make contested catches. They got to find a way to get some points, to create some explosive plays. Those 50-50 balls, when you get your hand on it, man, they got to start making those plays.
To the air, it's Zayin. Uncorks one. Right on the money. Touchdown, Buckeyes! And they take it in for 6 more points. Great example of how a second half can really change everything for a team.
No doubt. First half looked bad. It looked like it was bleak. It looked like it was ugly. But now you're starting to get it turned around. More drives like this is what's needed.
And the extra point is good.
Indiana 31, Ohio State 20.
He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Tackled and brought down right at the 20-yard line. Good coverage there. The Hoosiers offense all set and ready to crank things up. And after that last score, this is just a 2-possession game now, and they'll be looking to find some cushion on this drive. They didn't get a push at all on that one. It'll be no gain on the play.
It's hard to run on a defense that comes off the ball like that and runs to the football like that. Good luck. No holes anywhere.
Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. Looking to fire. Here comes the heat. Bought a little time, lets it go. And it'll be incomplete. This defense is physical and pass deep.
Yeah, and because of the pressure, the defense gets pressure on him immediately so quickly that he makes a bad decision, tries to throw it into double coverage. Really nice job pressuring the quarterback up front.
Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. 3rd and long, backed up inside their 20. Back to pass, it's Hoover. Throws for the tight end. Another incompletion on 3rd down.
Man, momentum is a real thing in college football, and you're seeing it shift here in the 3rd quarter. The defense just forced a 3-and-out. Their offense scored a touchdown the last time out. We've got a close game, but all of the momentum is squarely now on their side.
So here comes the Buckeye offense onto the field. That was a big stop by the defense. Now to see if they can take advantage and draw a little closer in this game. So we're starting to get late. Keeping it on the ground inside. It's Jackson. There's a crease. Finally brought down at the 31. It's a pickup of 15 yards on the play, and they've got a first down.
And for a draw play to be successful, it's not just the quarterback that has to sell pass, but also the offensive line. The tackles really letting their defensive ends rush upfield, guards and centers passing their guys off at the last second, and then running down the field trying to get hats on hats in the second level. Beautiful execution.
They stop him just a link or two short of the first, and man, what they can do on second down here. The Buckeyes come to the line. This situation, you might see a shot play. They make the stop, but he'll have enough yardage for a first down.
Gain of 2. That's a first down for the offense.
And the Buckeyes come to the line with a new set of downs. Here's Sayin to throw. And the defense got him at the 27.
All right, offense has got to be better. You've done a nice job getting the football to this point in the red zone, but now you can't go backwards. You've got to be able to get rid of the football if it's not there, and that was a terrible play giving up the sack.
To the air, it's Sayin. Final play of the quarter, and the ball falls incomplete. Midway point in the season, and games like this one can have a big impact on the rankings from week to week as we see upsets happen and favorites continuing to flex muscle. When you're dealing with a deficit like this, it's all about somebody stepping up to make a play, and you might as well start here in the fourth quarter. With the break, they had a little extra time to dial something up for this third down play. Sayin from the gun on third down. Makes the grab. There he goes. And he cruises his way to the house. Touchdown, Ohio State.
Hey, man, I don't know what they talked about at the half, man, but this team is rolling, doing an unbelievable job getting the football, putting it in the end zone again. And how about the defense doing their job, Palmer? Momentum is crazy in college football, but here in the second half, they've come out and seized it.
Yeah, this has been a master class in complementary football. Offense doing their job, the defense getting off the field, giving it back to the offense, everything going their way. And you're right, in college football, we see momentum shifts all the time. All of the momentum, all of the good juju right now, clearly on their side.
From inside his own 10, he'll try to help out their field position. Tackled and brought down at the 23-yard line, so not a whole lot of room on that return. Indiana sends the offense onto the field. That last score the defense allowed made it a one-possession game, and there is plenty of pressure to have a productive drive here. Hit and brought down right at the line of scrimmage.
You know, tight ends are such matchup nightmares and problems for defense. They're too big for DBs to cover, and they're too fast for linebackers to cover. You saw it right there.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down. The run inside. It's Richard. Not much doing there. He gets it to the 26, a gain of 1.
And I tell you what, it's really nice at this point in the game if you can lean on your run game. When you have the lead, you've got the football late in the game, you can chew that clock and start to really make that defense have a little bit of panic.
Back to pass, it's Hoover. On target. Makes the grab in their space. A huge pickup on the play before he goes out of bounds, but the question is, will it stand? There is a penalty marker on the field. Tight game like this one late, and those types of mistakes can just crush you. Let's see what they've got on third and long. Off the bootleg, looking to fire. Trying to escape and get it himself. He's got it. He steps out of bounds after a huge play, but hang on just a second. Defense might get bailed out here by a flag. And the Hoosiers will send out the punt unit. He'll try to really get into this one. He'll field the punt and see what he can get. He was able to get that ball up to the 48-yard line before he stopped on the return. Running inside, it's Jackson. Good pick up there. They'll move the chains, and they're set up at the 41.
I love the play call running the football here in the fourth quarter because with the score what it is right now, everything is at your disposal on offense. You are not panicking. This isn't throw every single down, all of a sudden 2-minute air raid type stuff. You can run the ball, You can do all of your stuff, personnel, shifting, motioning. You just got to be very, very careful and absolutely cannot turn it over.
He works his way inside the 30 down to the 29 and picks up a first down.
And a lot of times in football, man, the short memory, we usually talk about the quarterback. But sometimes it's the running back who puts it on the deck. Sometimes it's your playmaker out wide who puts the ball on the deck. But that doesn't mean you abandon him. You come back to him, let him make plays. Nice job making the catch. And
there's some room. Brought down after keeping those powerful legs moving, getting all he could. He'll be a few inches short.
Really good surge that time by the offensive line. You saw all those bodies by the defense being pushed backwards. That opened up the crease for the ball carrier. He's able to get a really nice gain there, setting up 2nd and inches.
He stopped at the 14-yard line, and they'll stay on the attack from there. The Buckeyes with the 1st and 10. Here's Julian saying to throw. Got his man on the right. They'll get it down to the 8-yard line on that throw and catch, and the defense is backed up against the wall. Really good concept there to get things going and use the tight end early.
Yeah, I mean, just such a great job on 1st down, setting up an easier 2nd down. Understanding I don't always have to push the ball down the field, but see the tight end, make the throw. No, it's not a big gain. It makes life really easy on me on 2nd down.
Using his legs, it's Jackson. He just carries it face long into a brick wall and has nothing to show for it again.
Well, we know this defense is one that plays with a lot of pride, right? And part of that is their ability stopping the run. They're a top 25 unit in the nation when it comes to stopping the rush, and that really helps them out down here in the red zone. They're going to have to step up big time in this situation.
Clock stops. We have reached the 2-minute timeout, and the offense is looking for a play to close this deal out. Not a lot of ground to cover and not much to defend. A big 3rd down in the red zone. Saying from the gun on 3rd down. He makes a grab. Touchdown, Buckeye! And they've moved out front here in the 4th.
Who can you count on in those big moments? Who can make those big plays? Who do you trust? And they trust the receiver to run a go and to run right by the DB. He makes the play, breaks the tie, takes the lead for this football team.
And the extra point was good. And as the ball makes its way into the end zone, it'll be a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Keeping it on the ground inside. It's Richard. Really nice job to squirt his way up to the 31-yard line.
All right, you're at a point in the game now where you've got to go. You need to get down the field and score points. I'm all for running the football, but in this part of the field, you now got to start kicking it into overdrive, start taking some shots and gaining up some yards.
To the air, it's Hoover. And he can't get it off. Taken down. What a huge play this late in the game.
And I love playing man coverage on the back end, getting in those receivers' faces. Don't let them feel comfortable in run zone where they can find all these holes in the zone and my rush can't get home. Pressure them.
Throws it deep. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have held on.
Man, you know the defensive coordinator on that play was holding his breath because in the 4th quarter, you've got one of the fastest players in the game going deep on you. And that's going to be a helmet sticker for somebody. Like, forcing an incompletion against that guy, that's incredible.
And here we go, down a score. They'll go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Can't find his man. It'll be incomplete, and that is a heartbreaker this late in the game.
And that's a play the quarterback would love to have back. Late in the game, trailing by only 1 possession on 4th down. It looked like there was a window to put that football in, to get the catch, keep the drive going. The quarterback has an inaccurate pass. It falls incomplete, and that is probably going to do it.
So they'll decline the penalty, pleased with the results of that last play. The offense will gladly take a fresh set of downs after the penalty. And the quarterback takes a knee. What a show both of these teams put on today. Couple of outstanding squads, hotly contested battle all the way to the very end.
Yeah, we came into this one expecting this to be a back-and-forth battle. We knew it was going to go down late into the 4th quarter. At the end of the